Next, we are going to just do a real quick little HiveScience segment here about a really cool discovery that was made recently, and I wanted to talk about a little bit because it relates to global warming and climate change in general. It's more of a regional warming phenomena, but the world's largest moth, an Atlas moth, was witnessed in Washington State. Now, this is a moth that generally lives in tropical regions of Southeast Asia. Now, you may notice that organisms that live in Southeast Asia are becoming more and more of an issue for us here in North America, especially on the Western front. I speculate that this species of moth was they generally they lay their eggs on the bottom of leaves, so it could be speculated that I always blame shipping containers and things like that when we get insects moving into new areas where they weren't found before. It's very possible that this Atlas moth that was found here made its way over here as in either its cocoon in a shipping container or laying eggs in a shipping container. Usually they lay their eggs on a food plant, though. That's why I speculate that maybe the cocoon was built on a shipping container or something that was shipped across the Atlantic. That's why these things take hold up in the Pacific Northwest, because most of the shipping that comes out of Southeast Asia ports up there before it moved. I mean, some of it does go into California and such, but the Pacific Northwest is a moist and warmer than it has been in previous decades region. So these tropical it's kind of funny, we're just talking about these tropical organisms can thrive in that area, at least for a season, which is why we see things like the mantises and the hornets and the Atlas moth moving into that area of all areas in North America and actually being able to sustain themselves there. It's the moisture. Now, this would be an invasive species, but they are not, at this point, it's one individual. They're not thought to have been naturalized and generally are not considered to have a detrimental impact on the environment. One of my favorite things about this species is the snake mimicry. So they actually look like a snake coiled up on a branch when they land. Let me see if I can find a good picture of it. That one's not the best. Let's see. That one's moth mimicry. Here we go. There's some good pics of them doing their snake thing. Let me find them. Yeah, look at that. So you see that and you think it's some snakes. It's really just our Atlas moth pretending to be a snake to scare away the predators. It's like, don't mess with me, I'm a scary snake. Look at that. A snake. So that's an Atlas moth. They were found in Washington. You are encouraged, if you live in this area, to report them if you see them around. They are not native, so we do need to track what's going on with them and kind of figure out how they're moving into the area. They aren't really known to be invasive or to even thrive in different regions. So I imagine this is an isolated incident. There's also the possibility that this could have escaped from a private collection of insects or from a zoological garden or insectarium in the area, and they can produce a generation. So they could even breed, but they generally would not be expected to survive the winters of the Pacific Northwest. It just doesn't seem that with our current climate that's going to be a possibility. Who knows though? We could have like the warmest summer or warmest winter, ever and they could establish themselves. That'd be crazy, but not completely out of the question. All right. So that was our hive science for today, and invasive but not necessarily threatening species of moth that has moved into North America. I do not expect that they will naturalize. We will keep our eyes out. You notice that the Joro spider scare, it came and went without much fanfare, because the idea of giant spiders parachuting into your neighborhood is not quite as impactful when you realize that at the point in time when they parachute, they're so very tiny you can't even hardly see them. And when they grow into adulthood, they're not all that different from the other invasive spiders in this family that are already naturalized in North America. There are species of moths in North America that do slightly resemble the Atlas moth, but they generally only reach about 1/3 of the size of this animal. So you will definitely know the difference when you see them. Um, Take a picture of it and send it to me if you have doubts. I am good at identifying most animals of any kind. So when I said kind, I mean of any species. Anyway, so that is our episode of Live from the Hive today. Thank you so much for joining us and hanging out as we went and talked about alien mummies and ancient artifacts found in Mexico. We explored the dispersal theories presented by one Kurt Wise regarding the creation model and the Noachian flood. And we've wrapped up with our Atlas moth finding its way to North America. Please remember to be kind. Please remember to take care. And we will see you next week. Bye.